respect the culture, come back with you. Recently, they just put up an article or just a quick news clip talking about how the FDA may authorize vaccines for kids 12 to 15 this week. And this is this is May 4th. That's a good thing. If anybody has noticed, the vaccine ages are getting younger, which is a blessing. That's great. I want to say the last age was later teens, but now again younger, to 12 to 15, like we said. My personal experience, my wife and I wanted to get vaccinated when our kids could get it at the same time. Yes, I support vaccinations, yes. Even though I am a person that rarely gets flu shots unless I had to, depending on where I worked. I really was rarely doing it. And it had nothing to do with being against them. I just didn't want to do them. But this vaccination, and we've caught COVID as a family, unfortunately. Our youngest did not. And he's 4. But we 100% support vaccinations. Anybody out there still not supporting vaccinations now is a bit naive. I want to say your main thing is that you haven't caught it yet, and I pray you don't catch it, but I want you to get it. But to vaccinate is to help prevent it. Yes, they do. They're keeping you aware. Not everything, there's a lot of bull in the news, of course, but not everything is bull. You gotta research and inform yourself to differentiate that, of course. Yes, there were 2 women that caught blood clots, rare blood clot conditions from the vaccinations, yes. Oh, not 2. There was, I think it was more than 2, excuse me. Did I say 2? I meant to say, I think it was 8. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. That's very rare. I believe it's 2 to 8 women. That's a very large margin. But there has been a single-digit amount of women that has caught a rare blood clot from the vaccination, which is very, very, very scary. That's known anyway. Remember, you always gotta say that's known. Because, with COVID, they did inflate numbers with people who would come in for one thing and, leave out maybe catching COVID or pass away in the hospital from catching COVID, coming into the hospital from a totally different, symptoms or injuries. Please get yourselves vaccinated. You got to. I don't even want people around me if they ain't vaccinated. You shouldn't even want nobody around you if they ain't. 12 to 15. The one thing that's interesting is I haven't seen anything yet, because I saw this morning. I haven't seen anything yet that talks about the dosage or the amount that goes into it. Hey, sister, the amount that goes into the children, because we know what the vaccinations do to adults. I even have an anthrax vaccination that, from years ago, that made my skin bubble up and scar up, and brought pains my shoulder for a few days. Flu vaccinations does it to people. The COVID vaccine will make it feels like your whole upper left side weak. Depending on what side you get on, of course. I'm just thinking about the dosage. Not thinking that it's not safe, but I'm just wondering how much is it, and how does it work? I'm always gonna want to know. I'm not a brainiac or nothing, but I'm still just interested and want to know how it is. You don't have to be a genius to inform yourself. You're gonna hear me say that forever. People who is on the channel know that I say that all the time. That we say that. Inform yourself on the things you may not know. You gotta have a want to know it though, of course. And not wait till it affects you or bring some harm to you. But you gotta have a want to seriously want to know something. It goes with dealing with people to find out information. It's common sense. It's common sense. People pick and choose and will do what they want when they want. So that applies for anything else too. And I would never allow anybody to make me think otherwise. On that same note though, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut is planning to fully reopen May 16th. That's less than 2 weeks away. It's Florida's about to remove restrictions. Vaccinations are slowing up across the country as expected. Across the world, I believe, but I'm talking about the country. That's expected though. But yeah. So things are progressing. I'm not gonna put no conspiracies out there, just a thought. The summertime is coming up. America, the world doesn't want to go through any recessions ever again. Not saying it won't, but the summertime is coming up. People are going to gather back around. India is still going through where they caught millions of cases in days. They also had a protest going on out there for several months at the beginning of the year, end of 2020. But COVID is still very real, you know? We're still wearing masks. I remember there was a point in time where I thought I was never gonna take my mask off. I was talking to my wife about that just yesterday. And I came to the realization that I'm gonna not wear a mask forever. Last year, we talked about Japan always wearing masks because, you know, the pollution and everything like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna wear a mask forever. But regardless of that, get yourself vaccinated. Your child is old enough, get them vaccinated. Be honest on the medical conditions. These things all apply. These things all matter. Excuse me. We're not professionals in medical fields. For those who aren't, I'm talking to. Be honest when you're signing up for stuff. It can really affect you. Be honest with yourself. Go get COVID vaccinated. It's common sense. Go get vaccinated. I can't believe I'm about to call it the Spanish flu. It's not called the Spanish flu. Simple Americans, is called the Spanish flu out of ignorance, as always, when it came from a Kansas man on an army base. But anyway, I bring that up because in the early 90s, what was it, 1930s, when the Spanish flu was around, basically viruses occur. They occur. Evolution occurs as time progresses. The viruses in said evolution evolve. So that means they'll get stronger as our body, you know, tolerates things more. It really is common sense. Once you learn these things, you don't unlearn these things. You practice them. You understand? And you should be teaching them to the people around you, the people you care about. You know, teach it to yourself first of all. There's a lot of people out there that don't even inform themselves. And then teach other people you care about. Get vaccinated.